In this video, Andre and I talk about the latest allegations against P Diddy, how bad some things look in retrospect, and how Cuba Gooding Jr. got dragged into all of this.
Did you see Bomani had an episode this week? I think it was Wednesday, where they were talking about Diddy a little bit, and they were just like, everybody's fucking going down.
Diddy out there doing weirdo shit, and like it's just like my man.
And it's one of those where now you start to see like all these old videos surfacing, and with the context of what we know now, like there's a video of him hanging out with Justin Bieber when Bieber was like 15.
Yeah.
Wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like.
And that shit, and it's like, okay, given the context of what we know now, that sounds fucking sketchy as hell. How did nobody sit here and think Diddy being like, we can't tell you where we are or what we're doing, but I can basically tell you it's a 15-year-old's dream. Like, which 15-year-old? Justin Bieber 15-year-old or Diddy 15-year-old?
Man.
Fuck, right? And somebody, I think it was... So Bomani was talking about how he got the chance like 5 years ago. Somebody reached out from Diddy's group and was like, hey, would you want to do an interview with Diddy? And it just like the timing and everything, it didn't work out. So he wasn't able to do it. But the whole thing was like, you can ask him anything's on the table. And Bo basically said like, okay, so this is proof that he knew 5 years ago that this shit was going to like coming down the hill at some point, and he was trying to get in front of it. But he was also talking about how like happy he was that that didn't happen.
Look, by anything, I would have asked the question. Is the question that keeps coming up now, which is why all your artists end up either dead in jail or with Jesus.
Or with Jesus.
Oh man, Is
there?
Yeah.
So I'm curious about this, right? From I guess the community standpoint, like where has P Diddy kind of stood in, you know, like I guess the echelon of like black entertainers or black artists? Like, I mean, is he somebody that generally within the black community has been like revered? Do people look up to him, or is it always kind of been like,
I mean,
okay,
yeah. So it's like, what? Like, if you look at hip hop from when he stepped on the scene, he just changed it for us. Where people like you get a little bit more crossover, and it was like, not that he was the linchpin, but he accelerated a few things. Where just his ear to rework some oldies. Like I look at it like, he did some oldies. And that's what got people like kind of bopping. It wasn't like it was the best beat or the best song.
But he figured out how to go back and find the samples, the hooks from certain genres, and be able to. I mean, you look at like, Biggie, and I mean, fucking, who is it? The name is Herb Alpert. They're sampling Herb Alpert, like serious, like in the Tijuana Brass Band. What? And it's one of the best fucking rap songs out there.
Yeah, I mean, so it's just like, so everybody rock with Diddy, well, Puffy at the time, and it's just like, nah, we rock with this guy. And it's so different. Russell Simmons just got served in Bali for sexual assault. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah,
like we can't have nothing nice. And it's not that the only thing that the community does is like sports and music,
right?
But they're pioneers. Like Lou Gossett Jr. just died, 87 years old. The same reason I rock with Sam Jackson is because these older guys were also activists,
right?
You look at Harry Belafonte. He wasn't just like an entertainer; he was an activist. People that gave back to the community. So for me, it's disheartening to see that. Yeah, Now I will say this: Diddy is on some shady shit, just like Killer Mike. Like I don't rock with Killer Mike like that.
Yep.
I get he's got a political stance, but I think he also hustles his community. Just my opinion.
Yep.
Don't get at me on that. No worse than T.I. T.I. hustles his community in Atlanta. So when you start doing shady stuff, you're not a Harry Belafonte. You're not like you can't preach the things that these guys did Like you're doing them, but you're also getting over.
Yeah.
Diddy's man, what's the name of his conference? Now I can't remember it. He had that clown Candace Owens there a couple years back. Man. Oh man. Now I'm just because I mean we talked about this before. I feel bad coming down on
Was it Revolt World?
Revolt? Yeah.
No, and that's I think you're right. Like it feels like a lot of the times from the outside looking in, right, that there's in some cases, I guess, like it feels like there's a target, right? Like that somebody like P Diddy who's gotten so famous and has so much money and everything that eventually they're just like, all right, fuck it, let's go take him down.
No, but I think like what messed me up with Diddy the first thing was when he settled that case with Cassie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
He's kicking chick in the head.
Yep.
Who does that?
Yeah.
Like I don't. There's no. I will not co-sign that. Right. And it's not about taking him down. So why would you do clown shit like that?
Right.
It's just silly. It's just like, yo, you can influence so many different ways. I even gave him a pass on not paying Maze. I even gave him a pass on like,
sure.
Like just
because some of that you look at it like, okay, business, whatever.
That's a bad business deal, right?
Exactly.
Somebody signed that.
Yep.
I looked at him sideways on the Shine deal because it didn't really come out until recently that he gave Homie a milli and he just had to take the fall for it. I'm like, that's kind of a clown move, but if Homie signed up for it and he's, quote unquote better off for it, it's not my beef.
Yep.
But sex trafficking, like being
that puts you on fucking Jeffrey Epstein level, right? At this point. Like
I don't care if he's doing gay stuff. That's not like if he's bisexual, that's you.
Who cares? That's not what it's about, right? But you can't be fucking hustling people off to other people. You can't be inviting folks to your party and be like, "Hey, have you met Cuba Gooding Jr.?"
I know. Cuba out here on some bullshit, man. I'm like, yo, you had one good movie, Jerry Maguire, man. Like that's it. That was it. Everything else.
Come on, Cuba's made other good stuff.
Nah, that was probably his best. In my we was in Boys in the Hood. I think
he's was not a bad one. That was pretty good. That was the one with him and Robert De Niro, where he was the scuba diver.
I didn't buy the performance, but I bought his performance in Jerry Maguire. That seemed like that's his personality. Boys in the Hood, I didn't buy that was who he was, so I was kind of like, nah, nigga, that's not you.
I was the other thing that fucking cracked me up about that Bomani segment, and he was like, "Do you have any idea how fucking pissed off I'd be if I showed up to P Diddy's party?" And he was like, trying to pass me off to Cuba Gooding Jr. He's like, "Motherfucker, do you know who you think I'm that level?"
And we're not laughing at sex trafficking. It's just kind of like, yo, are people really putting themselves in a bind for a bag? That's what
some people. I mean, and right, like I think some of it is like it's not just about the bag. There's a like a perceived level of pressure because you're in this environment and it's Diddy's home or whatever. Like I'm just saying that people feel that. I'm not saying that they should allow those things to influence them. But I'm saying that some people are.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna let Cuba look at your booty hole. No, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna pay you $3,000 when I'm done.
I'm like, nah, be like, what are we doing, yo? If that's what you're into, yo, do you?
Yeah, but there's some people out there that for $3,000. It's like, yeah, okay, you can look at my booty hole.
Nah.
I'm not saying that's you or me. I'm just saying there are some people out there who will take $3,000 to let someone look at their booty hole.
I'm just like, I'm good on all that, and it's not issue of the sexuality.
No, it
for
doesn't
me.
matter. That's the whole point. Diddy
The
could have been
issue-
passing these guys off to women, or he could have been passing
Right.
women off to other guys. That's not the issue. The issue is you cannot be putting people in that situation. Like, that's the
Yeah,
whole
and-
fucking thing. You as a person of influence, you as a person in that community cannot be taking advantage of that and using that to put people in situations they would not otherwise be in.
That's gross. It's just
It
like,
is.
you know, I just, money is not that important to where you're going to, how much are you willing to give up for the bag? That's the question. But at some point, it's like, yo, this is not for me.
How much is the bag? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, homie's gonna keep the lights on. I don't need to do anything. That's a problem. I mean, it's a problem that people don't. And I get desperation.
Yep.
But I think principles should override desperation.
They should.
You'll figure it out.
They should.
And even Jay-Z, I've been looking at him side eyes since the whole NFL deal. Right.
Yeah.
I just, some of the comments that come back about how that went down.
Yep.
Jay, like, I'm a
Yeah,
big fan.
doesn't put
but-
him in a very positive light, right?
right.
I mean, that's what it is at the end of the day. Is that it's kind of like, all right, it feels like you're kind of selling some people out here to get your bag, right? And that's what it is. Unfortunately,
it's an observation. It's
Yeah.
not an indictment.
no,
right?
it's not.
The Diddy shit.
That's an indictment.
That's an indictment.
That's multiple indictments at this point.
I mean,
SBF got 25 years for financial fraud. They could have thrown away the key
Yeah.
on Diddy, man.
yeah,
That
yo.
cat spent the rest of his life in jail.
Yeah, it's like Ice Cube. Like, I'm a big Ice Cube fan, and even like he's very diplomatic in how he handled the Cat Williams stuff, right? Now, as for me, Cube is somebody that I'm pretty confident there's nothing off about Cube, right? I may not agree with some of the things he says about Farrakhan. That's just me, though. But for the most part, there are people in my community, I'm like, nah, that's a stand-up guy. Now, Diddy's been falling off for years, like with the not paying people, all these shady allegations.
Yep.
And this is just like, yo, he's just off. Jay is, he's getting more and more on that verge of like, yo, man, who are you? Right? You're not the same guy. Not an indictment for him. Cube he's still a stand-up guy. Denzel, stand-up guy. There's people, Sam Jackson, stand-up guy. There are people that, and I'll say this as for me, we need to show, and it sucks a lot of these guys are in entertainment and sports.
Yeah, and not something else, right?
Yeah,
and not to begrudge them, right? Because obviously that was a path that's been very successful there for them. But I hear what you're saying, that it's unfortunate sometimes when you look at it, you feel like these are the only two avenues where Black people can really have, like champions that they can look up to, people that they can hold up in high esteem amongst the entire community.
Where are the attorneys at? That's one of the reasons why the Cosby Show was so popping,
Right?
Because homie's a doctor.
Yep.
Right. But Cosby's out there,
right? And look where that got us.
So, but and I'm not knocking what they do to get this. Just like I wouldn't knock Harry Belafonte, I'm not going to knock Sam Jackson. I'm not going to knock. There's a lot of people, I would never sit and go, well, just because you do this, I don't respect what you're saying. I do. I just hope that we as a community can look for, I want to see the nerds. I want to see the lawyers. I want to see the doctors, the true like Dr. Huxtables out there. Like Ben Carson used to, like, low key back in the day, people looked up to him.
Sure.
Until he ran for president.
Right.
So for me, my hope, and no, I would never vote for that clown. But for me, I hope in the future that we can have more people that are in various industries that can inspire others to do more. I just want to say thank you for all the people that subscribe and listen to the Chris and Andre Show. We're very glad and grateful that you listen and you've subscribed. We're going to get on a regular cadence. Please go to the Chris and Andre Show, or chrisandandreshow.com. Subscribe to our audio podcast. We are on fireside.fm, Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, obviously. wherever you're listening to podcasts, you can probably find the audio version. And yeah, we really appreciate it. I'm very grateful and humbled, to be honest with you, that people actually enjoy the podcast. And if you like what you hear, hit the like button, leave comments. If you have suggestions, always just let us know. We'll be glad to answer that. We do involve and engage in the comments, even the weird ones. So yeah. Chris is just standing there stoic.
I don't know what you just were like, I'm going to do this thing and didn't tell me what you were going to say. So, yeah, what he said.